Hello guys, my name is Rastility, and today I'd really like to talk about the PvP update that just recently came out in Tower Defense Simulator. And, I'm just gonna say it, this game mode is absolute garbage. I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat it, this is trash. There are absolutely so many things wrong with this game mode, and I'd really like to talk about it. And I really think that out of all of the PvP modes in any TD ever, this PvP mode is the absolute worst. I won't try to talk for too long, and I'll try to keep my points as short as possible, so please enjoy. So, first off, this game mode is called PvP. Duh. This is not Outlive the Other Player Simulator, so you need to have some sort of way to kill the other player. That's why you can send enemies. Usually every single PvP TD gives you the feature to send enemies to other players' side. However, what's so different about this is the fact that you are actually encouraged to spam enemies. So, instead of playing the game strategically and only sending when you know they're gonna die, you get rewarded for brainlessly spamming enemies to the other side. Now, what do you do to counter enemy spam? You bring AoE towers. So, this off-rip completely encourages an AoE tower meta, which is already lame. Of course, single target is always going to be a viable option, but 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be dragging yourself down because an AoE tower will always just be the better option, which is why it's called a meta. If you didn't know, one of the main points I made in a previous video about PvP was the fact that once people found a certain set of towers that will win every single time, everyone else is going to use that loadout. In my last video, I also didn't even bring up the fact that an AoE meta was going to exist by default, since I thought they were obviously going to do something to not encourage enemy spam, but I guess not. So, now we have a tower meta that isn't even created by the players. It's literally created by the developers since they wanted to make it to where you get rewarded for setting an auto-clicker on the send button. So, because the game doesn't even punish you for failing to kill your opponent, actually just rewards you for failing, and becomes dang near impossible to die to unnaturally spawn enemies later on, then can this even be called PvP? You're not even trying to kill the other opponent most of the time. That genuinely just seems like a side quest whenever you're constantly sending breakers on wave 10. I can literally only name one instance where I actually died because someone was strategizing to kill me. And that was because they spammed necromancers the second they could send them. Also, because I wasn't using AoE towers. It is incredibly stupid, and it is a very poor game design to send enemies for economy. And I personally think that I'd have a lot of fun with this game mode if they literally just gone without the eco gain. I asked my viewers to give me their reasons for why they think PvP was good or bad, and a lot of these people said that their cons had to do with the absolutely terrible design for economy gain. I'll say this again, it makes absolutely no sense that the game rewards you for failing to kill the other team. I feel like this game mode could have been so much better if the other team was highly rewarded for killing your send enemies in the form of even more cash than usual, and you got no cash from sending those enemies, which would just help the other team and punish you. So really, was I right in my video months ago? Absolutely. The entire cycle of this game mode just boils down to whoever has a loadout with AoE towers. If both players have a loadout with AoE towers, then it's just hoping that the other player does something extremely stupid that throws them to the grave. And that's about it for the actual PvP game mode. There's just nothing intuitive or unique about it that makes me want to play it over literally any other TD other than the fact that I just like TDS. Now, let's talk about some more things about this game mode, like the casual and ranked system. This is absolute garbage. I suggested an idea that divides the player base into casual and ranked in my last video on this subject, but there's actually just no reason to play casual, and I'm not joking about this. If you play casual mode, you won't get all of the stuff from the season pass, and you only get coins and XP. And the only thing differentiating ranked and casual is the fact that ranked lets you ban towers, and casual does not. So, if you're only getting coins from casual mode, then there's just no reason to play in the slightest, because just playing the game normally is much better. Also, fun fact, on release, you literally got the same amount of XP and coins whether you won or lost. I'm not sure how this holds up now and if they fix this issue or not, but this literally just encourages people to not even PvP in casual mode, as killing the other player will just grant you less rewards. Do you not see the problem with that at all? To get more rewards in a PvP mode, you are encouraged to not kill your opponent. So, there's absolutely 0 point in casual mode, and it's really just a joke. And what's even more of a joke is the second mode that the game offers you, ranked mode. So, now for PvP, we just have ranked mode left, and the only thing that can possibly make this ranked is extremely flawed. You can ban towers in ranked mode, making both sides not capable of using that tower. But the flawed part about it is that you can just counter the banning feature by not equipping towers until you actually get into the game. I'm sorry, but I want to ban these towers so I can ban the other player's loadout and throw their strategy off. But if they're just going to counter that by making it impossible to see their loadout, there's just no point in even having the ban feature at all. And even if you could see their loadout, literally every single tower that you can possibly ban in this game has a replacement. Want to ban mortars so your opponent has less crowd control? They can just switch to Rocketeer. Want to ban Accelerator so your opponent has less DPS? They can just switch to Engineer, Pursuit, or even Minigunner. Want to ban Electroshocker so your opponent has less stalling? They can just switch to Freezer. Place 3 Freezers down and constantly spam the Frost Grenade to get the same stunning effect. So on, you get the point. So, yeah, the only thing that makes these two game modes different from each other is basically nothing, because you can counter it by doing something as dishonorable as hiding your loadout from the other player, and even then, you can just switch to an alternative solution to fix your problem for you. Again, that is super problematic, and it's pretty much just a joke. There is absolutely nothing making this ranked or differentiating the two modes. Did they even try to come up with any other ideas to make this a ranked mode? It really does not seem like it. I also really want to talk about every single little thing here, so I'll talk about this as well. I think that these maps are absolute garbage. Throw literally every single map that they have made for this mode in a garbage can, because what is this? They made 4 maps for this mode, and 2 of them are maps with loops, 1 of them is incredibly boring, and 1 of them is actually fun and balanced. Out of like the 20 games I've played, at least 80% of them have been on this miserable, wretched, awful, unbearable Crash Course map. This map is so garbage, and I hate it because everyone chooses it. I mean, I don't blame them, because why would you not choose the map that has 2 loops and is set up so all of your towers can hit every single part of the track? Why would you play this map over something that's actually balanced, like the Wormland map? This ties into my last point, being that, did they not even think of any other ideas to make the ranked game mode even ranked? I feel like it's such an obvious feature that you could add on to the ranked game mode that you should not be able to choose your own map, and it should be entirely random. But because it's not random, guess what? It encourages strategies. And of course, all of these strategies are going to be on the Crash Course map, since it's the easiest map, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to get chosen. And last of all, I want to talk about the fact that on release, the Graveyard consumable was able to be placed inside of your opponent's base. So there was absolutely nothing they could do about this. Of course, this game-destroying bug was immediately removed and fixed, but it really makes me wonder, did they even bother to test this mode? How can you possibly let something as broken as that slip through the cracks? You know, another funny thing I noticed is that literally nothing has changed about this game mode. This game mode is just identical to how it was during the playtest. Aside from the fact that there were a few changes with the fact that they rebalanced towers and added a few consumables, there's just nothing changed. The maps are the same, the enemies and their prices plus cash gain are nearly the exact same, and the wave structure for every single arena is nearly identical. They seriously looked at what they had from the last PvP playtest and thought it was good. Not a single concern addressed, and nothing changed at all. I'm also going to bring up another concern that has to do with the wave structure and lack of testing, which I personally haven't experienced because my computer's actually good. When I asked viewers why they liked and disliked this game mode, the same point of this game mode is poorly optimized kept getting brought up. Which, yeah, I didn't even think about this. You are receiving 2 times the amount of enemies than usual on your device because there are 2 tracks that are putting out enemies. Of course, add on the fact that your opponent is constantly going to be sending enemies, and that just leads to the laggiest, most miserable experience ever. Elo was completely flawed on release, and still is incredibly flawed. And pretty much all of my viewers told me that you have to play 20 minutes or even more just for 20 Elo. Did they even test this game mode in the slightest? In my opinion, even though I love TDS and everything about it, this game mode was better off unreleased if they weren't going to bother to change a single bit of the flawed gameplay that was displayed with the playtest. But do you agree or do you disagree? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd like to thank all of my gold members, Pyshnidia Nightcore, Lightning Windsor, Jack Scarter, Bjorn Kittle, Rover845, Yum, Donix's Second, Kadar, YM783, Kave2019, and St. David for supporting me. Thanks for watching this video all the way into the end, and my name is Rastility, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.